Is this the easiest way to make money trading crypto? I think so. I'm going to walk you guys through a little step-by-step strategy of how to profit trading Bitcoin using the long-term VWAP system. This is a system I believe that any beginners can use, and I'm going to give you a little bit of analysis on where we think the market could be going next and how to take trades based off this system. So let's quickly jump in and we're going to give you a little bit of an overview of the long-term VWAP system. And now we're looking here at the developing year value area, and that is the gray area that is behind the price. And we can see that the actual yearly VWAP is the blue line running through the middle here. And we can see that price is strongly reacting to this level. And basically what we can do is we can see what price is doing when it does tag the levels of the VWAP, which is in the middle here, the value area high, and then also the value area low. And I'll give you guys just a few insights on how I've been using this to take trades over the last couple of months. So I'm just jumping out over to the daily time frame. So once we came back inside the yearly value area high back here, we got the strong close inside. That was giving us pretty strong indication that this structure here, which was sort of playing out as, a symmetrical triangle, ascending triangle, which could have resolved the upside, but, due to seasonality, we've probably already done the major run for this part of the year. And, the market was getting ready to go into more of a consolidation sideways pattern, and usually until we hit about October. So, having that in mind and then throwing that in with the line in the sand, which is the value area high, once price breaks inside the value area high and we get a strong close like this one in here that doesn't reject instantly, that tells us that most likely what we're going to see is a test of the blue dotted line, which is the yearly VWAP, right? Now we get a really strong buy signal set up here, which is our TD9, which is a really strong reversal indication on the 9 count. So we have a TD9 buy signal right on our yearly VWAP, and then we get our reversal, Morningstar reversal set up right there. So that gives us indication that we should be pushing. So we take our entry here on the close of the 9, stop loss below the wick, and then we're looking for a nice simple trade up to the value area high, and then we can see where we end up taking that. And then we've got a really nice strong push out of there, which then led us up into this order block here. And that basically is what ended up putting the top in price. We can also then see we had our sell 9 signal here. And basically what we needed to see was a strong close above the close of the 8 to get a continuation. And that never happened. And this order block basically held us down, which then led us to a rollover and a retest of the VWAP again, right? So when we started rolling over, once we broke back inside the value area high once again, so this would be a failure to break out of the value area high and flip, because if we can break out of the value area high and flip, then we get a markup, which is what happened back here. We got a really clean break out of the value area high, right? And then that flipped on the lower time frames and then pushed aggressively. So we didn't manage to do that here. And obviously the result is that we roll over. So once you fail to break out of the value area high, and you get, basically back into a downtrend through here once we break through this level, that tells us that we need to be looking to put hedging on and protective shorts, at least until the value area VWAP, the developing VWAP down here, which is our blue dotted line. So price rolls over, we tag that. If we get a really strong reaction off here, we're looking for a retest of the value area high. We didn't get that, so we rolled over a bit deeper. Once we reclaim the value area, once we reclaim the VWAP, then we're looking for a trade up to the value area high again, which we did. And then you can see we failed to break out of the value area high again, right? So this was a very obvious short entry setup here. When you get wicks out the top of it here, and also we know we're in the middle of the year, so the market generally doesn't take out and take off and pump in the middle of the year, especially, we're in the post-halving, part of the cycle as well. We're in the halving year. So usually the year of the halving is a very long consolidation type year. And then towards the end of the halving year in October, November, December, it really pops off and runs quite aggressively. So I wasn't expecting this to get out. So it's why seasonality always comes into, your thought process about what the market's doing. And then we expect this to end up rolling over and at least test the developing yearly VWAP, but it's always on the cards that it could roll over and test the value area low. Now let's go down to the lower time frames. We can see that's exactly what happened. So we got the breakout here, the value area high, and then price failed and capitulated back inside the range there. And from there, we just didn't even get another test of it. Sometimes you do get another retest like this, and then that's a really easy short. And we would have had a nice, three drives into a rollover, and sometimes you get that right shoulder get put in, but that didn't happen. The market was just way too bearish, and we got a full capitulation all the way from one side of the value area. So value area high failed to break out. And what happens is we've already tested a bounce off the VWAP multiple times here. The VWAP doesn't hold this time. And what happens is we get a massive capitulation all the way down to the value area low. Then we bounce off the value area low, and now we're coming back in, and price is consolidating around the yearly VWAP once again. So usually this adds, this is a really strong support and resistance level, but sometimes you can sort of have price get stuck to it. And we're sort of having a compression that's called on the VWAP, right? So the VWAP is basically an average of what price has done since the start of the year. So it's an important level. And there's a lot of traders that aren't sure if we should be playing this market bullish right now, if we should be playing the market bearish right now. And in fact, when you're sitting on the average of the year, the market is actually very tightly in balance at the moment, right? So from here, we need to see how the market plays its hand. But I wouldn't be surprised with the structure that we have at the moment if this does end up pushing back up to the value area high. And I have positions on at the moment to take that trade. So just, a basic high time frame sort of analysis. We're looking at a bit of a bull flag here. So we had a nice V action bounce response here, and then consolidation through here on the VWAP with a pretty nice SFP through here, right? So when the market looks like this, I'm in positions from way back down here. We were sniping the bottom in the Discord, pretty much under 50K and quite close to 50K, because we were looking for entries at the value area low. So once we broke through this level here, it was pretty obvious that we were most likely going to have, I wasn't expecting a drop to be that aggressive and that quick, but I thought price would make its way down to here. I've been looking to bid around 48 to 50K around the value area low. And so we nailed those entries. And I'm still holding most of my positions from there. I've had a couple of nice short trades through here just to hedge in case it does end up rolling over, but taking a nice amount of profit on those and just looking for continuation here now. It does look like, we're sort of just in a nice bull flag and the market is tipping back towards being a little bit more bullish, but this could easily get rejected, right? We're right up here, retesting the range high at the moment and seeing a little bit of selling pressure come back in. So just need to keep our eyes on it and understand that, hey, this could continue going sideways for a little bit. It also could easily come up here and take out the range highs through here with some wicks and liquidate some shorts and then come back in here. And that would be a really obvious set up for a rollover trade, looking for the value area low, or potentially even this consolidation down here, and potentially even 43K at its worst, right? And if that did happen, right, the way that we would play that, let's just say we had a massive capitulation, it came down here, right? I'd definitely be looking to buy in this order block down here. But the really obvious buy trigger would be if we reclaimed the value area low, right? That would be an amazing trade that I would really like to take. Getting in on the reclaim of the value area low. I've taken a couple of trades over the last 2 years based on this system, reclaiming of the value area lows, of the yearly value area lows, and they've all been very, very strong trades. So I'm definitely would be looking to buy a reclaim of the value area low, which would be basically at the moment a reclaim of 50K. Okay. So what I'm basically looking for here is more sideways action or a breakout of this bull flag and push up to the value area high. Now that would be similar kind of price action to what we had back here, right? When we had this big sell-off and we dipped down, we hit the yearly VWAP and we came up and we had this consolidation pattern and then pushed again up to retest the range highs again. So we could be seeing basically a bit of a mirror image of that. But just because it happened before doesn't mean it has to happen again now. But we do need to keep in mind that when Bitcoin does bottom, it does usually look like this. You have a big sell-off and a capitulation. And then a lot of people are sort of waiting for another entry back down here, and the market's just too strong. It doesn't give them that opportunity, and then it ends up just pushing off after a while. So that's basically what we're waiting for at the moment. The market to show its hand. Can we break out pretty much and get a strong, solid close above 62K? If we get a really strong, solid close above 62K, then I would definitely be looking for rotation up to 68 or 69, I should say. Right. And so then what we would be looking for, let's just say we do copy this move here and price ends up pumping out and then has a little consolidation here and then pushing up. Right. If we do eventually break out the top of the value area high, I'd be looking for a really nice retest trade. The same way I'd be looking for if we broke down here and then reclaim the low, we're looking for rotation up to here or rotation up to value area high. I'll be looking for a retest of the value area high level again, right? And then from there, we'd be looking for it to move into markup the same way as what we did back here when it moved into markup, in the same way that it did back here. So you can see same thing, right? We're inside the value area high, finally breaks out of value area high, and then we push into markup. So that's the kind of price action that we were looking for. Again, similar time of year as well. So everyone always complains about the market being crap at the moment. Look at what the market was doing this time of year last year. It was even worse. It was way worse. Like all the way from the end of June pretty much until the 15th of October, the market just went flat sideways, bleeding out with one sell-off, a little pump and dump, and then some pretty rubbish sideways chop action, just making slightly higher highs, right? But the trigger here was that we were pushing into the developing value area high, right? And then we broke out of that. That's a bullish trigger. Then we push up to the previous year value area high, which is this strong level through here that we're struggling to get out of. We finally get out of that. Okay, that's the trigger. Bang, the market's about to flip. Very bullish. And that's why we got this extreme pump out here. Liquidated anybody that was holding short levels above this level through here, which is pretty much 31K, which was the previous year's value area high. So we can see through here, that stopped right there. So yeah, just that's probably the main thing to keep in mind up at these prices, guys, and how I'm looking to play the market. I think that we will get, I do think that we will get the market start to play out a little bit stronger a bit later in the year. So I would be surprised if the market was as bullish as what I've drawn here. Like that's just an example to show you how the system works. But I actually do believe that most likely we're going to continue to go sideways. This could chop down, roll over one more time, and do something like that. But I'm generally looking for just based on seasonality, because we only have, I think it's about a 30% probability that September will be a green month. So that's 70% probability. It's actually the worst month out of the year for not just crypto, but also for the NASDAQ as well. I can give you guys a little tour of that. Just 1 second. So the thing that I wanted to show you guys is just here. So if we can jump in and just have a look at the seasonality, this is really important to understand. 30% probability that September is going to be a green month. So 70% probability it's going to be a red month. And then also August is only a 33% probability, right? August is actually a little bit more bearish with an average of, or median average, I should say, of 7.9%. And September is median average of 6.5%, right? So definitely the most bearish time of the year is August and September, and we're right in the middle of it right now. So I'm not expecting any big pumps or anything amazing, but we might just grind up, for the rest of August into the value area high and then roll over again in September. Then bang, we find our bottom in September and we're looking for the market to pump again come October, because October is the most bullish month of the year. And then obviously November, December are pretty good as well. But February as well, don't forget, is one of the strongest months and then followed by July. So keep that in mind that October is the strongest month of the year. And it's not just for crypto. Let's go and have a look at the stock market, the NASDAQ here. September. 8 out of the last 10 Septembers have been bearish, very bearish in some of them, right? Especially the last 4 Septembers have been minus pretty much 6%, minus 6%, minus 11%, minus 5%. So September has been very, very bearish all the way back from 2020. And then even before that was a pretty average month as well. But then look at how strong October's can be. And also November is very strong for stocks. So let's go and quickly have a look at the stock market, which is looking extremely strong now. So this is one thing why I think that crypto and Bitcoin specifically might get dragged up to the value area high. And that's because we've had some really beautiful structure here on the weekly with that big capitulation with everything going on with the Japanese government, raising interest rates. And then if we look at the daily time frame, it's pretty much since they sort of solved that issue, it's pretty much been up only. That's why, if you're in our Discord community or even our free Facebook group, I was saying to people like this is most likely going to bounce very aggressively. A lot of people were talking about, oh, we're going to go into a big recession, blah, blah, blah. Those sort of macro event scares like what we had going on with the Japanese government, usually they pass over pretty quickly. And as we can see, the stock market's back above where it was before the big sell-off. One thing that does have me a little bit concerned is if we could just go to quickly the daily time frame. Today we are putting in a TD9, basically inside that order block through here. So that's telling us the TD9 is a bit of a sell signal. So potentially we could be getting some sort of a rollover or pulling back into more of a sideways range here for the next couple of months. Typically, stocks are pretty bearish going to presidential elections as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if September, October were pretty bearish in the stock market and we just end up chopping sideways or grinding down or something like that, maybe in a big range like this all the way until November. And then we get clarity on who wins the presidency, and then the market can recover and pump with all the new stimulus that they're going to add in with the next administration. So just keep our eyes on this TD9. If this ends up becoming a continuation 9, like, we just had a couple in a row, like this was a nice continuation 9, and this was obviously a reversal 9. Right, so keep our eye on that one, because if it does push, that will probably give a little bit more life to BTC and help it run to its value area high. If this ends up rolling over, we get a little bit more panic, moving into the next FOMC where they're considering most likely going to lower rates. There could be a little bit of fear around that, and that could put extra selling pressure on the crypto market. So just something to think about, how price will get dragged according to the stock market. But we have sort of disconnected a little bit over the last week. Maybe that's a bit of manipulation going on, so bigger players can fill their bags for a bit longer. Or maybe it's just seasonality and crypto is a little bit more bearish in August and September. What the stock market is. But yeah, basically that is the system. I think it's the easiest way to trade and make money in these markets. But you have to have the right long-term VWAP system. We've actually created our own version of it, which aggregates all of the exchange data. If you don't have an aggregated version, then most likely you're not getting the correct levels. So if you're not using our system, make sure you are using aggregated version of these levels. Otherwise, they're going to be off and you're going to miss trades. And they can be off by a long way as well. If you're only using the data from one exchange, it can be completely off where the actual wide market data is actually at. So yeah, if you want to get access to that or join our Discord and community, or if you want to learn more from us and learn our course and how we make money trading these markets, click some of the links below and book a call with our team. Apart from that, guys, I'll see you inside the Discord group and we'll chat soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.